Liz. Thank you for allowing us to share our side of this story. We are a loving and hardworking family in this community. We are concerned about any persons who may have experienced any misfortune out of this situation. I do want to share with you about my son's 3 animals. One is a dog, Coco. She's still missing. We're very concerned about Coco. We're also concerned about Pearl. She's a puppy, a larger puppy. And Justice, they are both at a local vet. Pearl has been stabbed, and we are praying for her recovery. We live in a community where folks have dogs, all sorts of dogs, including pit bulls. We do not raise, these boys do not raise any animals to harm people or even other animals. That's not how we do it or how the boys have done it. And these are have been very loving, affectionate, a dog and these 2 puppies. We don't know exactly what happened. This has been very traumatic for everybody, I imagine. This has been very traumatic for our family, and I'm sure it's been very traumatic for any other family. We just want a complete story to be told. I just want to make sure that the character of these dogs are not mischaracterized. We do have a neighbor who gave us a lot of information, and I believe that neighbor is the person who initiated the telephone calls, and it was my understanding that the telephone call was not initiated due to the dog incident, but because a man was running onto our property and the neighbor property, because our yards are adjacent, with a deadly weapon. And that this incident, again, I was not there, took place on my property. There were blood. We did take a picture of a stain on near our property. And we don't know if all the facts are out. We just want to we definitely want to make sure, without minimizing any situation, any situation, that there are no over-exaggeration or any new created situations arising out of this. We do not want anyone's anyone's unfortunate situation to be monopolized upon, whether it's our situation or anyone else situation. From what we have discovered through talking to a neighbor or so, is that maybe one incident occurred, and then someone came onto the property and went after my sons. They're like grandbabies and nieces to me. Dogs. I'm just glad that no other human being, if someone was that angry, was there at the time, because it seems as if the situation may have gotten more escalated, and we definitely didn't want any additional harm or injuries to occur. Again, we are saddened by any person's misfortune, and that's genuine. Any misfortune, but I just know Pearl, I just know Coco, and I know Justice. These are animals which are very loved and cared for by people who would never teach them to hurt another animal or another person. We love our community. We love all people. We would never do anything to hurt anybody. In fact, I'm just share this and stop, because this is emotional for me. folks joke with us about our dogs. They say, again, they're my son's dogs, but I love them like they're real people. But people say to us all the time, they're too nice. They're not real, because they are pit bulls. They're not real pit bulls because they are very nice. And again, I wasn't there, so I'm just going by what my neighbor told us occurred, and we are trying to get someone to help the sheriff department with some investigation, because we just think it's necessary. But we have our family. The situation is not unique to our family. There are many dog owners in our community. There are dogs who run onto our property. Again, my concern is that the situation is not monopolized or exaggerated or escalated at the expense of either families.
And what would you like investigated?
We want to know. I want to know how it started. I want to know if there has been any tampering. We lost another dog in November, our queen, and I don't want to go into too much about that. I have somebody looking into that for us. We just want to make sure that there's no foul play out regarding any situation, and even our situation.
Did someone harm Queen?
I don't know. I just know that we've had a lot of weird occurrences occurring in our subdivision and at my house, and I'm concerned about. I still am concerned about whatever happened yesterday and anybody injured, but I'm also concerned about the future. I'm concerned about my safety. I'm concerned about my family's safety. I just think that we do not need to look. I think this is I think that with a lot has been going on. I just don't want to take anything lightly, and I don't want to give a peripheral glance to any situation and overlook something that I should not be overlooking. I know at glance sometimes you might get an initial thought about a situation. I just want to make sure that it's safe to be at my house for me, and I want to make sure that there's been no tampering on our property. And I'm not saying for sure it has been. I just want to make sure that we look under every rock and every stone, and we just make sure that we just don't take what may look at first glance as one situation, and it could be something more. Again, there are people who know this. There have been a lot of strange occurrences occurring.
Have there been any other incidents with your dogs that you can tell us about?
No, that I can discuss. I feel comfortable right now discussing, but I was very concerned about an occurrence involving Queen and possibly trespass on my property. Again, having said all of that, I did hire somebody to check into that for me. And
what happened with Queen? Queen is deceased, or?
Yes.
How?
I don't have all the facts pertaining to all of this.
How long ago was that?
That was November.
Okay.
And again, we are with our dogs daily. The boys are with the dogs daily. These dogs are well fed, well taken care of, and we just want to make sure that what may seem as if we at this juncture we don't know anything about how the situation was initiated, and I just want to check everything out. And again, that's not with undermining anybody's situation or anybody's misfortunate occurrence, as I shared with the deputy when I came onto the scene yesterday. And he knows this. I was very, very concerned about the other family, but I do want to make sure that we are looking at the complete picture. And
what do you think the complete picture is? Do you have any idea? What do you think happened?
Liz, you're a very wise reporter, but I don't want to pre-speak without making sure, and that's why I called someone in myself yesterday to do some investigation. I've also contacted the sheriff's department myself. I just want to make sure that there are no creative situations. I'm not saying the situation was created, and that there are no other matters going on that may get overlooked in the escalation of this matter. Again, what really got my concern was that someone was on the property, went back and went and got a butcher knife, and I heard they found the knife too, and that there were some folks spilled gunpowder in the woods yesterday. I just think there needs to be no jump the gun, and I think, and I hope a complete investigation will be done by the sheriff's department, and I have to look out for the safety of myself and my family, of course, legally. And so we're asking anybody to share any information with us also. We want to be active in finding out what's going on, and with the other occurrences that we've shared about situations in our lives in the last couple of months. We've already shared that with the sheriff's department. I don't think that we need to discuss all of that as it relates to this incident, but those other incidents bring me even more concerned about making sure that this is adequately investigated from both points of view. Again, that's not with minimizing anybody's injuries or any other misfortunate situation. That was my initial concern when I came on the seniors. It was not even about my family and I. The deputy will let you know I was immediately concerned about. You go ahead and immediately concerned about the other family, and of course, folks came to us and shared information with us that we had not initially received, and we just thought that based on that additional information, more investigation should be done.
Do you have any idea how the dogs got out?
We do. Again, we don't want to totally speculate right now. I don't know, Liz, about. I don't want to pre-speak. I don't. From what I've been told, again, I was not there. The incident took place on or right adjacent to my property, so I don't want to even presuppose that they got out yet. I don't want to make any speculation at this juncture. When I came into my backyard, I saw on my deck Justice and near the wood, which is just like we heard Pearl. We don't know all the facts right now, and so I want to make sure that everyone has totally investigated. So I can't speak about if how what the dogs got out or what happened or were the gates. I don't even know all the details pertaining to the gate. So I don't want to speak about anything. I just know I was not there. I know that
it's our understanding that y'all haven't been staying there since the fire because of the...
We are almost, I think we're like 60% done. My contract is here with the repairs, and we are there. Definitely the contractor, and I have a special place in my heart for these animals. And so, and they're with us most of the time. But someone is always on our property. In fact, I think after this incident occurred, was just about to get started on the some additional work with the property. But our neighbors know that we are almost someone's on that property almost daily. Definitely the dogs are well attended with daily. In fact, they've been with us most of, I mean, like personally, like, you know, it's been a holiday, like hanging out.
True. Now, I understand that there was an incident in January involving the Longs and your dogs. Are you worried that since this is the second time that y'all could face repercussions?
I am not familiar with the details of that situation. I know that there have been a situation where we've been concerned about our dogs. I'm not familiar with the details of that situation. I know throughout our neighborhood there have been a lot of dog owners in our neighborhood. There have been dogs issues in the neighborhood with various individuals' dogs, but I can't speak in details about that situation. I know that we've had dogs, I think even recently on our property, there are a lot of dogs who, when people are walking, and those dogs are not properly restrained, and that goes on in our subdivision. So I can't speak in details, but I know that whatever situation going on with our family is not a unique situation in the Brookfield subdivision. The dogs are crossing and going on to other neighbors' yards frequently, and our dogs are usually in our backyard. Our dogs we don't give our dogs permission, as some do, to run, to just randomly walk.
So you haven't seen any of the information coming from the Long's attorney concerning your rabies vaccinations for the dogs and stuff in the wake of the incident that happened in January with their Basset Hound and Mr. Long?
Veronica law firm. I think. Are you talking about? I think
Jody Long, Jonathan Alderman.
I don't. I just know that a while back, and we've not heard anything about it because there was a incident we think involving the opposite. But I think we got a letter, and I think a letter was sent back. I think that came from the Rickers law firm, and we had concerns. So no, we're not concerned about. We are concerned about all situations occurring in the Brookfield subdivision. My family and I are concerned about any situation involving Veronica Brinson. I'm more concerned about those associated with me. I'm concerned about my sons. I'm concerned about my sister, and I'm concerned about anybody employed by me. We have reached out to Sheriff Davis a lot, Liz, a lot. A lot of this, the incidents we've called regarding have not been reported, but we've reached out. A lot has happened to those closely associated with me. So we are.
Are you saying you're being threatened by people?
Well, we received a threat yesterday, and we reported it, and we were told that it would be included in the police report. We had someone. We got a telephone number. We gave that number to the police, and that person called us. We think that the person was from the Brookfield subdivision, and that person called us and indicated what might happen. And I don't take the law in my own hands. I never do. I don't like weapons. I'm not gonna run into somebody with a butcher knife. I'm gonna call the police. When we got that threat, we didn't call those people back and say, "No, you're not gonna do that." And what we're gonna do, we called the police. We would like, as it relates to our family, though, and with all deference to Sheriff Davis, we would like to see concerned about our family when we call the police. We have called the police a lot, and we usually told that we can't do nothing about it, or we'll include it in a report. That has happened on several occasions. One of the incidents, you guys think I should share this? Y'all comfortable with sharing about the incident with your car? That occurred in the Brookfield subdivision, and we reported that, right? And this was, I think, right after our house fire, and we got a note on our car, on Brian's car, saying, "Why don't you and just leave?" And I ignore stuff like that because, well, I mean, ignore. I told Brian to report it, though, because I was like somebody bold enough to write something like that. Let's at least report it. I ignore a situation like that a lot of times because I know there are mean-spirited people of all races, and I don't like to make issues of race matters. But we did call about that incident, and we've had other incidents in the Brookfield. We've not been happy in the Brookfield subdivision, but we do know that there are dogs running. I think we do more to restrain our dogs than most do in that subdivision, because we're not stupid people. My family are very well aware of what their mother is, and we try to be as proactive as possible. These young men are trained by me how to deal with law enforcement, how to deal with authorities, and to be as respectful as possible to law enforcement authorities. I told Brian yesterday when the neighbor called us, he is to always take somebody with him because that situation, if Brian was called, if Brian had got on that scene and that guy was out in our yard with as angry as he was with a butcher knife, and my son was unarmed, there's no telling what could have happened. And I told Brian, he would not go on the scene by himself. He called his brother. He went to the gym. I was at the gym, and he got me. And then he came to the scene, and I'm glad he did. But we didn't even know at that juncture that there was a man out there with a butcher knife. We love our neighbors just because that's how we are, and we like to handle matters neighborly. We just don't want to be unfairly scrutinized or unfairly targeted. We went through the mortgage process like anybody else. We don't want nasty notes left at our home. If there's a dog incident, we want a complete investigation like anybody else. We just don't want somebody to say, "This is Veronica Brinson's house, these are Veronica Brinson dogs," and make it out of something that it shouldn't be. And again, we're saying that without minimizing any situation. There are plenty of times dogs, it just happened recently, come to our property, actually tried to hurt our dogs. And because I'm so busy, I actually told them, okay, don't go back out on the street. But again, there are dogs coming onto our property. I've seen it recently with my own eyes. We do call the police most of the times because the police has been so inactive. With all due respect, and I think Sheriff Davis is trying to work on that as it relates to our concern. Sometimes we just pray about it if it's not a bad situation and move on. But we've reached out about dogs before ourselves, and we are sympathetic to anybody who is genuinely experiencing misfortune any misfortune arising out of this situation.